Halloween Kills is the latest installment in the Halloween series. It is the sequel to Halloween 2018. God, I wish they didn't call it that. The nightmare isn't over as unstoppable killer Michael Myers escapes from Laurie Strode's trap to continue his ritual bloodbath. Injured and taken to the hospital, Laurie fights through the pain as she inspires residents of Haddonfield, Illinois to rise up against Myers. Taking matters into her own hands, the Strode woman and other survivors form a vigilante mob to hunt down Michael and end his reign of terror once and for all. The sequel once again stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, Andy Matichak, and also welcomes Anthony Michael Hall amongst a slew of other people. Halloween Kills has a really interesting opening sequence. It's a flashback sequence to the original Halloween and what transpired that night after Michael had murdered some residents of Haddonfield, Illinois. I thought that they were setting up something really interesting, how this could actually come back later on in the film, and it does in a way, and I think it's handled mostly fairly well. And the kills in this movie are brutal. These are probably the most brutal kills I've seen in a Halloween movie, and this is definitely going to appease a lot of slasher fans because there are so many unique kills in here. But I will say that brutal kills and a great opening sequence that sets something up aren't necessarily a recipe for success. Just because you have brutal kills in a movie and unique kills in a slasher movie, that doesn't make the movie good. It's like saying an action movie is good because it has action sequences. And instead of focusing on plot, character, when it comes to the rest of Halloween Kills, I was really taken aback as to how they had ingredients there that could be a recipe for success, and the rest of the movie just, I'm gonna say it, flat out sucked. I could not believe what I was watching, that this was the same creative team behind Halloween 18, and I'm pretty on board with Halloween 18, even though I'm not a huge fan of them discontinuing the continuity from Halloween 2 on. So it's just a direct sequel to Halloween 78, which is so stupid that Halloween 2018 is called Halloween. Because now we have to differentiate which one we're talking about, the 78 one or the 2018 one. The opening sequence for Halloween Kills gave me hope that the reviews were wrong. And they weren't. The rest of the movie is drowned out by the middle chapter narrative. This movie feels like it's all filler, no killer. No pun intended. What it feels like to me is that I feel as if they had the first part written, and I can't say anything about Halloween Ends because obviously we haven't seen Halloween Ends, but I feel like they know how they want to end Halloween Ends. And then they were just stuck in the middle and were like, oh shit, we need a middle movie. It's the middle chapter. Halloween Kills. What do we do? What do we do? And they had no clue what to even do. The main focus here is on a group of townspeople that become an angry mob. This movie just becomes a huge mob mentality movie. And it doesn't work whatsoever. And the way that they try and get you to care about all these townspeople from Haddonfield is like, oh, hey, this person is that person from the original Halloween. This person is that person from the original Halloween. This person is connected to that person. I don't care. Anytime the movie kept cutting back to this angry mob of residents in Haddonfield, the movie just became super, super boring. I didn't care a single minute about any of these characters, and it's mostly because they weren't in the first one. Instead, what the movie should have done was focused on Laurie Strode, her daughter Karen, and the granddaughter Allison. Laurie Strode doesn't do anything in this movie. She sits in a hospital bed and agonizes in pain. The daughter, Karen, makes really dumb decisions, and decisions that could make or break the outcome of the actual movie. And the granddaughter, Allison, who had a really unique setup in Halloween 2018, and there was that it was one of the final shots of the movie, it may have been the final shot of the movie, where she's holding the knife, and it zooms in on the knife, and I thought to myself, there's going to be something coming up in the sequels with those. Nothing. Completely just gone. Everything's evaporated. Everything that they set up in terms of these three characters is completely out the window. Instead, focusing on the little kid from the first one that Laurie Strode babysat, who's now a grown-up and is given awful dialogue, and Anthony Michael Hall plays him. You can tell he hasn't acted in anything since probably The Dead Zone. It's really bad acting from all of these actors that are part of this mob. And they're just given really terrible dialogue. We gotta go get him, guys. He's here. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. I swear to God, if I hear that chant one more time, But going back to Laurie and her family, those were like the core characters in 2018, and instead they're just brushed to the side. The character of Allison, Laurie Strode's granddaughter, was barely in the movie, and she was the one that I was gravitating more towards in Halloween 18. And she's really given nothing to do in here. And unfortunately, this is a Katniss Everdeen Mockingjay Part 1 situation, where it feels like her character almost regresses. She doesn't, but she doesn't progress. There's no forward development there. She's just stuck in the same place as she was at the end of the first one to the end of this one. There's no forward movement with the character and her goals and her actual decisions in this movie to make me be like, okay, you're the main heroine now. I have to care about you. I never got that feeling whatsoever. There is some bizarre editing in this movie too. There will be scenes that are building up to a very suspenseful and tension-filled moment, and then all the tension and suspense is just going to be ripped away because the scene immediately cuts to a completely different scene. It killed any tension building that this movie had. It seemed like that was their idea of trying to keep the suspense and the tension up, but then it never cuts back to that scene ever again after it cuts to another scene. And most of these scenes that it cuts to involve this angry mob trying to kill Michael Myers. And don't even get me started on the end, because the end is... They do something with Michael Myers that they said they had retconned. Now it's retroactively put back into the continuity, and I just don't get it. There's also this subplot with this mental patient that was apparently on the bus that crashed in Halloween 2018, and there's something going on there, and that completely went nowhere. It was just another scene for a character to have a death. For everything that Halloween set up, Halloween Kills just dismantles. This is honestly the Crimes of Grindelwald of the Halloween series. Just feels so insignificant, feels inconsequential, and just feels like all subplots and very minimal story that doesn't progress the story further and leaves you not wanting a third movie. And I don't really care about Halloween Ends anymore. Like, I'm not looking forward to how this part of the Halloween story is going to resolve itself. I have no faith that this same creative team is going to recapture that magic that was 78. Of course, Halloween 2018 tried to do that, and for the most part, I think that they honored it in a solid way. I mean, nothing's ever going to be as good as Halloween 78, but you have the same creative team. David Gordon Green as the director. He's also a co-writer with Danny McBride. There's another co-writer. I forget the name of the other co-writer. I'm sorry. But the same creative team that wrote Halloween 2018 comes back, and this is the final product that they came up with. I just find that insanely crazy. I'm going to say you will enjoy Halloween Kills with stale popcorn. This was a massive disappointment. When Halloween 2018 got good reviews, and I know it got a mixed reception amongst fans, but it got good reviews, I was like, the Halloween series is back, and now it just seems as if that one good thing led to too much. Maybe there should have only been one more Halloween movie, and it should have been probably Halloween 2018. I think there's a strong case here that we didn't need Halloween Kills, and we're not going to need Halloween Ends. So guys, did you see Halloween Kills? Drop me some feedback in the comment section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.